Welcome to the BumbleKast. I'm your host, Ian Flynn, the Bumble King, and joining me as always is my Bumble co-host, Kyle, JCRB Krause.
Hello. We're here for another week of BumbleKast. How? We're already here. It's crazy. Like, these weeks, they just keep happening, Ian. Can you...
They are flying by.
Can you stop this week? Can you do that?
Nope. There is no stopping this crazy train. We have to answer all the questions from our patrons over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, and our YouTube members.
Well, I mean, you're part of the lore council. Can you make time not canon? Just no time. No more time. Not allowed.
I'll bring it up at the next meeting.
Okay. I'm sure it'll go fine.
I'll see if anyone seconds the motion.
I'm sure it'll be fine. It's time for Time Eater for real. All right, we're gonna get started off with one here from All Peachy. Spaceballs, the Sonic crossover. Who would play who in this silly movie?
Oh my god, it's been so long since I've seen that movie.
I really think Sonic would have to be Lone Star.
Well, yeah, kind of a given. I'm inclined to say Knuckles is Barf, but would it be regular Knuckles or Boom Knuckles? We're going to just cherry pick across the franchise incarnations.
I mean, you could. Nothing to stop you.
Amy's Princess Vespa, maybe?
I suppose. Unless you want to go with Blaze for the princessy princesses.
Maybe.
Who was Dot?
Would be a good... I don't know.
Well, you could go with...
It's been so long, I don't quite remember the characterizations.
I mean, Dot's really just Joan Rivers. As a robot.
I would almost say Blaze just to have Blaze voiced by Joan Rivers.
I was going to say Blaze as Princess Vespa and Marine as Dot.
All right, I'll take that.
Would Eggman be Dark Helmet?
That's the obvious choice, but I feel like he's got too much stature.
Yeah, he doesn't really fit.
I mean, all the lines would be hilarious, but
yeah, he's not. That's not the joke. Is that he's not? I'm being said Starline, and that Eggman is President Scroob.
Maybe. Honestly, I can kind of see Cubot as Dark Helmet.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I mean, yeah.
I mean, I just feel like a lot of his lines would somehow be hilarious with Cubot's delivery.
And Orbot as Colonel Sanders.
What kind of idiot uses the code 1234? Oh, I use that on my luggage. Yeah, I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. See, I mean, it's just funny.
Yeah. Even in the future, nothing works. Smoke him if you got him. As long as it's not the Ben Schwartz. Well, I think we've casted this well enough. Next question is from Andrew D. With Sonic Superstars being announced, would you say that it takes place before or after all of the IDW classic Sonic comics? It most likely doesn't matter, but I must know. I think
it's safe to say it's after the IDW books.
Is it, though? Is it?
Yeah.
Do you know something?
Yeah, I'm fairly comfortable saying that.
Is this a knowing smile? You know something, Ian?
Oh, there's absolutely knowing smiles.
You know too much. You know way too much.
Do.
It's dangerous for you to have this much knowledge. Scary. Here's a question from Antails. One of the most common questions we get on r/Sonic the Hedgehog concerns how to get into the Archie Sonic comics. Most folks itching to read the old stuff will simply find it online for free, but we remove links to these websites due to our rules against piracy. For those wishing to read the Archie comics legally without breaking the bank, what would you suggest? Is there an online comic service you'd recommend that have these issues readily available in a digital format? Or are there any specific volumes or collections that are easily accessible you'd recommend? Thanks.
Unfortunately, I don't have a good recommendation because the books are no longer in print. The trades, the individuals, and as far as I know, there is nowhere to legally download the copies anymore because Archie doesn't have the license to distribute them. And Sega's not going to distribute them because their deal is with IDW right now. So there is no digital option, legal digital option that I am aware of.
There is one.
You can try. There is?
Yeah, but it's going to be hit and miss. It depends on what your local library has in stock. But if you,
I was going to recommend the library.
But if you do have the digital apps like Hoopla and stuff, you can sometimes check out the books, and you'll sometimes find them and you can check them out. But it's going to be very limited. It's not going to be anywhere near a complete selection, if they even have any at all at your library. But that would be the only way, without any sort of going to prohibitively expensive extremes just to acquire them. Otherwise, if you're wanting to get it legally, otherwise going to your local comic shop and asking them, maybe a lot of times they will have back issues. So, and honestly, archive.org is technically a library. It's a digital library, so go check that out legally.
You can also try like secondhand stores. They might have collections of trades.
Yeah.
Maybe not single issues because you don't find those as commonly, but the big chain bookstores most likely don't have any in stock anymore. So it's tricky. It's tough.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, more power to you on your search. And what's especially tricky too about Sonic is because it is a more child-oriented series, kids don't necessarily take care of their books. They don't treat them like collector's items or for archives. I mean, some of us did. I've got a 6-foot-long box full of them, but they just read it and tear it up and throw it away. So what copies do exist in good shape are actually kind of rare. So again, good luck.
Yeah. It's not easy. And unfortunately, I don't know if we'll see those issues released again. So here's a question from Batman69 Law. What if Eggman was too slow to pull down his goggles during issue 50? How would that change the timeline?
Backup measures in his glasses. Like maybe he'd have a bit of a headache, but he knew Starline was a problem. He'd be fine.
Are you saying he planned ahead?
He can do so on occasion when it occurs to him.
All right. Here's one from Butter Noodles. What type of contingency plan would Batman come up with for some of the main cast of Sonic? How effective would said plans be?
Tower of Babel Sonic Edition? Let's see. Sonic goes rogue.
Probably would be a similar plan to if Barry went rogue.
Like set up a network of tripwires within a particular locale and then bait him into the area either via chili dog or some other bit of bait. The minute he's trapped up, localized detonations. Amy, maintain a safe distance at all times. Research if the hammer can be magnetized, in which case that would potentially disable her.
It would disable her hammer. It would not disable her.
No, that's true. Poor swords. Superior strength doesn't seem to be quite on the level of some of the other superhuman traits, so any other kind of restraint would be possible. But again, activate at a distance. Maybe play into temper so that she charges off in a singular direction without thinking it through. Tails, bait into taking flight. Tease out that flight until he becomes exhausted. He loses control, fall into trap, secure, easy enough. Knuckles, do not engage in direct hand-to-hand. Otherwise, you're going to catch those hands.
Yeah.
Play to gullibility. Convince him that you're on his side. The minute he turns his back, capture. Easy enough. Tangle. Dangle a shiny object. Neutralized. Whisper. Localized EMP to disable functionality of variable Wisp-on. Individual wisps still a potential threat, but can be contained with egg tech. Must procure. Whisper herself. Dangerous in hand-to-hand, but comparable to Batman. Able to overcome with smoke grenades or other restraining devices.
I'm being told mention dead teammates. Oof. Oof.
And Big the Cat, no contingency.
Run.
Applied to be his right-hand bat. Become Froggy Man.
Blaze? I don't know.
Blaze, secure hideout in high-altitude location.
Okay.
Dissuading from pursuit.
Yeah.
Preferably near large body of water.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Attack at range with fire retardant materials.
Shadow?
Almost reused the joke. Nope, not gonna go there. Actually treat this seriously. Shadow. Procure Chaos Emeralds in advance.
That's too easy.
He's Batman. Plans ahead.
Mention Maria.
Yeah, no. That's the dead teammates joke.
Why did you say that name? Vector, pay
Research if air shoes can be magnetized.
him.
That would at least slow him down. Or, alternatively, hire Omega. Canonically, he beat Shadow.
That works, I suppose. That works. Is that everybody just about? Amidst the major players?
That's enough.
It's good enough for now.
Unless you want to add chaotics, in which case, pay them off.
Yeah. Cream?
C big.
Okay. I was going to say.
Surrender, swear fealty, learn how to speak Chow.
Mm-hmm. Return child to mother. All right. Here's a question from Cece. This is about Antoine's time on Moebius disguised as Patch. After he returned home, we were shown a glimpse of just some of his thoughts regarding his time there. Undoubtedly, he felt guilt from whatever he had to do in order to survive, but how did this guilt affect him?
I'd have to go back and look at those references. I feel like they were incredibly vague, but I don't remember exactly what was said or implied. Now, during his time there, that was still like the vanilla version of the anti-freedom fighters. So this was before Evil Sonic got his glow up. And just passing off as Patch would have been a lot easier than if it was like post King Scourge. That would have been a nightmare. So I think most of what Antoine would have had to have done was just be aggressively jerky and not nice, lie, be generally dishonorable. I don't think he would have had to do anything like truly evil to get by. I think he just would have kind of kept to himself and kept on the down low. Now, the fact that he would have to do anything dishonorable would have weighed on him because he is an honorable, son of a soldier. He serves the royal family. He is a man of integrity. So compromising on his morals in any regard wouldn't sit well with him. But I don't think he'd have anything too egregious to repent over. And it would have been nice to see like Bunny helping him get through that. I cooked with the Bartel. No, the Maldron. It's been too long. I do not remember which one is right. I have become Le Monster. Sugar, it's fine. You're home now. Relax.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no. You have to cook with margarine. No.
There was someone who asked me how they looked. Their outfit was impeccable, but I said they looked terrible. I am Le Monster. Okay, Twan, buddy, I know it was rough, but you need to just chill, okay? So laissez-faire. Or use the Evil Sonic once more? No, Antoine, just... Okay, look, he's green now, all right? It's pretty clear.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And worstest of all, the eye patch. It was itchy. Yeah, that actually sounds like a pain. I'm sorry you had to do that.
Yeah, that would suck. All right, here's a question from Crab. How will Shadow react to Sage, his new first cousin once removed? While I don't think he would outwardly seek her out, what'd he do if he ran into Sage one day while, I don't know, Eggman's out getting groceries or something?
I don't think he'd care. Like, he would assess the situation. Is she a threat? Is she an immediate danger to the world? No. Okay. And just move on.
Yeah.
He was very close to Maria and Gerald, but I think that is the extent of his familial ties to the Robotniks.
Yeah. I don't think he would care. And we got this one from Dice or Hero. Sega has given you the green light to bring back some of the Egg Bosses for a new game. At least one male and one female. More if you like. Who and why would you choose?
No. I think Thunderbolt's kind of a given. I think she had the strongest design. She had the funniest gimmick. She has the clearest powers. So that would be the easiest to implement game-wise. I think she's arguably one of the most entertaining of them. So that one's not really hard. Mm-hmm. She's very easy to transplant from one to the other. Like Cassie and Clove are great. Don't get me wrong. But they are much more story-driven characters. They would need to be retooled to work in modern Sonic. So if we're talking just very simple game implementation, that Thunderbolt. Boink, boink, very easy. And for a dude, I'm inclined to say Akhlet. Just because the idea of him directing the Orca stage hazards would be funny.
Oh, yeah.
And I really did like Tracy's pass on his design. So
Vin did that.
Oh, excuse me. Vin did that pass. I beg your pardon.
Whichever one passed. I don't know. And that's it? Just those two? Or
if not Akhlet, then maybe Maw. I feel like it's a little bit of a retread of what we got with Starline and Finitivus. But that whole singularity mouth thing that he had could be a pretty easy boss gimmick gameplay wise.
Mm-hmm.
And he's fairly simple in terms of characterization too. He's just a spooky bad man that works with another bad man.
So many bad men and a few bad women. All right. Is that it?
That's the ones that I just immediately gravitate towards.
Alrighty. Well, heck. I think it's time we take a quick break then. We'll be back with more.
And we'll be back. More BumbleKast.
More.
I got to say it first. Haha.
More BumbleKast. More.
And we're back with more questions here on the BumbleKast.
Here's one from Endabend. If Fang were to be brought into modern Sonic shenanigans in an official manner, assuming that's still on the table, what would his arsenal look like? While I can see the Marvelous Queen remaining the same, save for some minor adjustments, I'm curious as to his pop gun. Would he still have it, or do you imagine he'd upgrade to something similar to his Archie Cells weapon? Modern Sonic's no stranger to guns and gun-like weapons thanks to Shadow and Forces, so he'd have plenty of options.
Yeah, I don't know. It would kind of depend on what we want to do with Fang in a modern setting. If we'd want to make him a more serious adversary, or if we'd want to keep the more comical bend to things. If he'd be a solo act, if we'd want to lean into the tech or not. There's a lot of avenues to go with. I think the pop gun itself is very classic era, cartoony, goofy. So maybe he'd get a Wisp on of his own. Maybe he gets a very grumpy Wisp companion. Maybe he gets a Nega Wisp companion. I don't know. But it's really hard to say. And I don't want to speculate too much because not that there's any immediate plans. I don't think it's off the table as an option. It could happen, maybe. So, don't want to potentially spoil something that may happen. I'm probably being overly paranoid, but
Maybe. Here's a question from Fang. Oh no! By some unexplained reason, Sonic's universe is competing in the Dragon Ball Super Tournament of Power. Which Sonic characters are competing? Which characters are the Grand Kai and Destroyer? Who survives the longest? How does Zenny react to Sonic and Friends?
Zenny is the money. You're thinking Zeno, the king of all.
Zenny is the
Key
money
difference with that singular vowel.
From Mega Man?
That's 2 N's, I think. Dragon Ball World is 1 N Zenny, I think.
Mega Man Zenny has 2 N's, yes, and an E at the end, I think. Or does it end in Y? Which one? I forget.
Yeah, I think it's Y. I think it is in Y.
I think it is in Y. Yeah. Zenny is Goku's nickname for Xeno in the dub.
Ah, okay. I do beg your pardon. Ian confirmed for fake fan.
Yes, you are a fake fan, and you don't know how to power scale Dragon Ball Z properly. Or Sonic properly, of course. Here's the thing. This is the thing I always tell power scalers. Ian knows how to power scale properly. He's also just messing with you.
Or am I?
That's the joke.
Grand Kai and Destroyer. I mean, there was a ton of art going around of Big dressed as Beerus. So to have, like, Froggy be his Whis would be hilarious. But I'm also kind of inclined to Call and Chaos get the Whis and Beerus treatment. Might be kind of fun visually. I mean, if we were going to be super serious, they'd be brand new characters because we haven't really seen such godly characters before. But we're doing this for funsies. Who shows up? Well, Sonic, obviously. Knuckles isn't going to turn out a fight. If there need to recruit some power players, Silver and Shadow have to be involved. If Blaze is present, I think she'd volunteer. She's not from that dimension, so I don't know if that would disqualify her. Maybe that would disqualify her. And that's where you get the Boo fake out, so she has to bow out. So who's the Frieza in this scenario? Zavik, maybe?
I suppose.
If nothing else, for the recreation of the gut punch scene between him and Sonic, that'd be worth it. That'd be fun. How many people were on the team? There's Go. Of course, it varied from dimension to dimension, didn't it? Did it? It's been so long. Be funny if they brought in Storm just for the pure power aspect, and they have to bring Jet or Wave along as his handler, not really to fight, but to make sure he's in the right direction.
Amy? She does have a big screw you hammer.
Yeah, and there's no way you could get her to not compete. Save all the universe and all the life in it. Yeah, she's definitely in the mix.
Yeah.
It was Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, the androids, Frieza, Roshi. Is it 6 or 7? 7 or 8. Yeah, but Boo got substituted for Frieza. Was it 7 in each team? I can't remember now.
Well, if the androids are there, I guess you'd have to have Surgeon Kit.
Well, we got Sonic, Knuckles, Amy,
Shadow Silver,
Zavok for the funny villain involved, and yeah, Surge.
Sure, why not?
Why not?
Why not have basically 4 Sonics?
How can they lose?
Why not? It'd have to be Surge and Kit, though. They come as a package deal.
Maybe they can't bring Kit, so Surge says, screw it, let the universe end. I ain't fighting.
Oof.
And then Eggman substitutes in Metal Sonic.
Okay, well, now we really have 4 Sonics.
Maybe Jimral should be in the mix somewhere. I mean, very definition of super fighting robot.
Yeah,
I don't know, there's a lot of options you could have. That would be fun.
Oh, sure.
Who do you think should be the Sonic reps in the Tournament of Power? Comment below. Drive up the metrics. Get that algorithm working for us.
Godzilla has a question. In the past, I've asked on how you would pitch a Sonic/Godzilla crossover. But let's change tokusatsu genres. Guess what time it is? It's morphin' time! So let's talk Sonic and Power Rangers. Do we create a universe where Angel Grove is just another city on Sonic's world, or do we bring Sonic and Co. to Angel Grove? Also, when it comes for the inevitable time Sonic and Co. gain Ranger powers, do they just borrow the OG teams, or do they get original powers? And most importantly, Ian, because we gotta sell them toys, what are Sonic and Co.'s Zords? Can Shadow figure out how to play a dagger flute with a helmet on that sounds more like a trumpet than a flute? How big is Rita's headache? Metal Goldar, maybe? I don't know. Go crazy for our entertainment. I feel like we've done this one.
We've touched upon Sonic as Rangers before.
Yep. It's Morbin time.
Metal Goldar, though, cracks me up.
I know. Yes, it does. It's very funny. Yeah.
You may know what I'm going to do, but I know what you're going to do. Strange, isn't it?
Oh, boy.
I wouldn't set Angel Grove on Sonic Earth. I'd make it a full dimensional crossover.
It's more fun that way.
Yeah. You have less questions of why don't we intermingle more? Where are they later? Because if they were the same universe, we would have been desperately robbed of seeing the Megazord fight Perfect Dark Gaia. I mean, come on. The Gaia Colossus is a weak substitute. That's the we have Megazord at home option. No.
Mm-hmm.
And having Eggman and Rita meet for the first time and collaborate would be just delightful. Magic wand to make my Metal Sonic grow!
Now we can have the kaiju without all the effort of trying to summon a dark god from hell.
There you go. Eggman summons up what he thinks is going to be his kaiju du jour, but it's small and weak. And so he conspires with Rita to make it big and powerful.
There you go.
You got putties with various badnik armor bits. Like putties running around with like little Motobug helmets, little scythe weapons. Also, you can't have it in the same universe because if Zordon sent out morphers to teenagers with attitudes and Sonic didn't get one, giant plot hole right there. I mean, come on.
Teenagers with attitudes. Yes, literally Sonic.
As for Zords, I feel like if it was just like animal themed, that's too simple. That's boring. Like we'd have too many hedgehog Zords to begin with.
We've done this before. Pretty sure.
I know, but
we kind of switch things up a bit.
There's a number of avenues to approach.
I mean, you could just go with I don't know, car Zords.
It's boring.
Yeah, I guess
we could have them take on their individual colors. So,
I
mean, Knuckles piloting a Tyrannosaurus robot. Come on, that kind of sells itself.
I would like to see it.
I don't know how Vector's going to pilot the Dragon Zord though, because how is he going to make that flute reach the end of his mouth? Tails is put out because there's no Orange Ranger, at least in the originals. Well, you know what I mean. The Mighty Morphin originals.
That's okay. Make one up.
At the same time, it's like maybe create a new set of Zords for the Sonic cast, but then what would they have? Would it be callbacks to other kaiju like elements within Sonic? Do we have enough of those to go around? Like, does Knuckles get to pilot the Iblis Zord? Is Sonic in the Gaia Zord?
I'm being suggested Chow Zords.
Like bigger, cooler versions of the Chow Max. Maybe.
The Iblis Tractor. Thank you for that one. Taxidermy. Oh, no, hold on.
And you have to have a fight between the Megazord and a supersized Death Egg robot.
Well, yeah.
I want to see somebody in that extremely bulbous costume trying to throw a punch with those stubby little arms.
Oh, good. We're going old school rubber suit monsters. Good.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm glad we're not going with the CG garbage. That's right. Yeah. All right.
No. We're stomping on the same model train terrain every fight scene.
Good. Oh, man. The model train sets are my favorites.
Running subplot of Bulk and Skull tricked into looking for Froggy with Big. The fact that they managed to do what they could do in those suits when, I mean, like, they could barely even walk, much less do some of those moves. It's like, how did they do that? That is commitment to the bit.
Absolutely. Bulk and Skull meet Rough and Tumble. Oh, man. Good stuff.
Rivals at first, blood brothers forged in battle by the end.
Yep. Best buds forever. Oh, man. It'd be fun. It would be a very fun crossover. All right. Next is a question from Genzel. I have a question about the brides of various ninja clans in the Archie continuity. Did they have to come up with their own titles, or, for example, has every shinobi leader been the bride of constant vigil?
It's been a while, but I think the intention was that it was a title that each matriarch took upon themselves once they ascended.
Yeah. So you're saying Conquering Storm wasn't called Conquering Storm from, like, they didn't call her that? She wasn't born with that name?
I don't think so. I don't think that's how we had it.
Not even in the reboot?
But it's been a while. No, in reboot, that was just her name.
That's what I thought.
We had to get rid of all the other context.
Okay.
And just Conquering Storm is a metal name.
I mean, yeah. That's kind of a native, sort of a Native American style name. Because it's pretty badass. I'm down. I like it. Here's one from Just Some Dude 7. Did 9 from Sonic Prime Doc Ock himself, or the 7 mechanical tails removable? Like, are they permanently stuck to his body like Otto Octavius? Or is it some device he can simply remove at any time? How do they work?
I don't know. I believe the implication is that they are part of his anatomy now. Like, permanent physical fixtures, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Here's a question from Miles the Prower. Everyone always wonders about how a date between Sonic and Amy would go, but what they should be wondering is how one for Scourge and Rosie would go. So how would a date for the two aunties go? How many Mobian shields does Scourge have to use?
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. There is no attraction between the two of them, only murderous intent. There's not even like a will they, won't they type of thing. She wants him super dead, and he wouldn't mind if she fell off a cliff. So it would be what they already normally have, in that she's trying to stalk and hunt him down to cave his head in, and he's doing everything he can to avoid that.
Yeah, I don't think they like each other very much.
No.
No, it's like the opposite of Sonic and Amy. Yeah. And our last question for today comes to us from Morless. It's the ultimate showdown of Ultimate Destiny. Live broadcast from scenic Glitzville, the location, the heart of the Glitz Pit. The contenders, why none other than the reigning defending champ, the mustachioed menace, the red-capped calamity, the living, breathing, overall obituary, the great Gonzalez. And who is his challenger, you might ask? Who is the soul brave enough to take on the champion of champions? For one night only, all the way from Mobius, it's the gigantic genius, the malignant machinist with the excellent ego, El Gran Gordo. Who will win? Who will come out on top? The only way to find out is to tune in, because in the Clash of the Titans, the only rule is there are no rules. In other words, how would you book this match, Ian?
First off, Morless, that is excellent promo copy right there. You should get a job with that. That's very well done.
Delicious. Delightful. Thank you.
Number 2, I kind of got lost in the forest for the trees, forgot that this was a 1,000-Year Door reference, and I'm like, who is the Great Gonzalez? and did a little bit of a deep dive on Jorge Gonzalez or Giant Gonzalez, who was an actual wrestler. But that's not who you're asking about. You're talking about Mario.
Mario, yes.
Which mercifully was like the third or fourth entry on Google. I'm like, oh, right, the Glitz Pit and all that. Yeah, okay.
Come on, man.
That makes a lot more sense. I never claimed to be the smartest man in the world, Kyle.
Okay, good. I mean, at least you didn't claim it. You didn't claim it, so that's good. That means we don't have to put in like some kind of thing. Some kind of disclaimer. Yes.
And I'm honestly a bit distracted because now that I've put it all together, all I hear is Rock Hawk's theme, and I'm jamming out to it. It's like, how do you think with that playing in the background? I don't know how to call this fight, to be perfectly honest. Because, yeah, it's Mario. He's going to be nigh unstoppable, but El Gran Gordo has the face appeal. He's the underdog. He is the people's champion. You don't want him to lose.
So is Great Gonzalez, though. Pretty sure.
No, I know.
This is how do you book a face versus face fight? It's not easy.
So maybe, that's the setup, and there is no good way to resolve it. So Rockhawk takes one on the chin, is the heel for the fight to jump in and disrupt it.
Yeah.
So they can tag team him and come out as dual champions.
There you go. Yep, that's how you do it.
I mean, by the end of the 1,000-Year Door, he's lost enough ego to know that, he's got to do it for the show. So he'd make that sacrifice play.
I mean, that's one way to do it. And then you get
kind of along that line.
You get Rockhawk showing up in the middle there, and that's always fun.
When I was playing it for the first time, I thought he was being set up as the fake champion. All presentation, nothing to actually back it up. And yet they kept building up towards the fight in the game, and I'm like, wait, this almost seems like they're setting up for a serious fight. I'm probably just going to bop him once and be done. No. He actually backs it up. And I'm like, oh, I actually have to think in this. Ha-ha! And that was... I liked my expectations of subversions being subverted.
I mean, yeah, they're building up to a boss fight. Like, makes sense.
I thought it was just going to be... I thought it was going to be a fake out. I thought he was going to be, all talk. But no. No. He's a champion.
He truly is. Oh, good old Rockhawk. Your theme rules. And so do you. All right, that's all we got for this edition of the BumbleKast.
If you'd like your question answered on the show, consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/BumbleKast, Ko-fi.com/BumbleKast, or becoming a YouTube member. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we will see you next time on the BumbleKast.
Catch you later.
To make you take your clothes off and go dancing in the rain. I can't do that more anymore, cause it will give me back pain. And I would fall down the drain. Upside, inside out.
Try to sleep at least 8 hours per night. Yeah, so do I, Scurvy. It doesn't always work out that way. Yeah, it's okay. I'm used to it. I'll sleep when I'm dead, which at this rate will be pretty soon.
No, you can't do that. You have to live.
I make no guarantees.
I can't sucker anybody else into doing this job. You have to live at least as long as I do.
Yeah, you probably could. Also, are you really planning on doing this forever?
Most secure job I got thus far.
I mean, I'm not saying we shouldn't do it forever, but, just making sure. Just saying. I'm being told to have 3 perfectly viable suckers to take over for me. I don't love Shadow. I like him to varying degrees depending on which incarnation we're talking about. God, I'd find Shadow insufferable. I don't think I could ship myself with him. I could not date that guy. We should make every thumbnail shadow. That I agree with, because shadow thumbnail episodes tend to do very well. Who has informed opinions? Disgusting. You're supposed to have uninformed opinions that you are unwaveringly, slavishly dedicated to. That's how this works. The more wrong your opinions are, the harder you double down on them. You've been listening to the BumbleKast, a co-production of Bumble King Comics and the KNGI Network. Original theme music composed by Ken Coda Snyder. Remixed intro by T-Lopes. Find out more information, along with podcast feeder links, MP3 downloads, and more at bumbleking.com and kngi.org. What's up?
I like how I search Spaceballs cast, and it gives me a nice, straightforward IMDb thing. I search Spaceballs 2 cast, and it doesn't give me anything.
Spaceballs.
It gives me the direct link to IMDb's quotes.
Spaceballs 2? What?
There were two.
No.
Spaceballs 1 and Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money.
The Search for More Money is the joke. That's a joke in the movie.
I thought there actually were two.
No.
So that's why I can't find it.
There's an animated series, but there's not a second movie. There's an animated series from, like, I don't know when. It's pretty recent, though. But
the cast list doesn't list yoga, so I don't remember.
Yeah. No.
Oh, God, Dom DeLuise. I don't even remember a Pizza Hut. Again, I saw this like once 30 years ago.
It's not a very long scene, and the whole reason why it even exists is because of the Pizza the Hut pun.
And have Dom DeLuise, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, that too. Oh, it is so ridiculous. But yes, Scroob is also Dom DeLuise, I think. No, it's Mel Brooks. No, it's Mel Brooks. Yeah, I was going to say. Dark Helmet's real name is Panikin Crybaby. Oh, boy.
Yeah, we can cut down a lot of my awkward inability to make the joke.
That's okay. I think it means it's just time for you to watch Spaceballs again.
Yeah, apparently so.
Yes. The funniest part about Spaceballs is that it's pretty obvious that the most of Star Wars that Mel Brooks watched was the trailer for the first one. That's it.